Welcome to the Humor in the Household podcast. I'm Alex, and every week we dig into the funniest, weirdest, and most relatable stories from people's lives. From toddlers flushing car keys to grandparents texting the dog, we read them all and try not to spit out our coffee. So grab a snack, take a seat, and prepare to laugh at other people's chaos. Welcome back to Humor in the Household podcast. Thank you, Gil, for coming today, and thank you, my dad, for coming today. So let's get right going with the first story. In my early 20s, I was going through a big crochet phase. One day, I went to the local Walmart. I was in my own little world, just excited to get some new yarn colors. I immediately went to the yarn aisle and was solely focused on choosing what color I wanted for my next project. Out of my peripheral vision, I see this huge, tall guy, probably about my age, start to approach me. I immediately think, oh, shoot, he probably thinks I'm an employee because I wear a blue shirt. How embarrassing for him. Because why else would a 20-something-year-old guy be in the yarn aisle? The guy proceeds to hit on me, and I'm just standing there in shock, not knowing what to do or how to get out of the situation. My introverted brain is in full panic mode. He asks me if I want to go out for drinks, and I quickly tell him, no thanks, I don't drink. He then asked me if I want to go out and eat instead and if I know any good restaurants. My panic brain says, no thanks, I don't eat. Followed by an awkward chuckle because it's obviously a lie. He still doesn't get the hint, though, and asks me for my phone number. You might think I'd say no, or maybe say I'm not interested. But my dumb mouth spits out my number. I immediately exit the store, speed walking and praying I don't run into this guy in another aisle. He is already texting me before I even hit home. Not wanting to hurt his feelings by ignoring him, I text him back, sorry, going off the grid for a while, so you won't hear from me, and blocked his number. I avoided Walmart for about a month after that. Worst part, I left the store empty-handed, didn't even get my yarn.
I'm sorry, I don't eat. All I'm doing, I'm on this fast for like a year.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done in that situation. I probably would have did something either stupid like that, or I would have just turned around and walked away.
You know, I don't blame this guy who approached this girl. I just, you see someone and you're like, I want to marry that person, so I'm going to just go for it. And men are at a disadvantage. We are creeps when we approach the girl because we're like, hey, I am here to tell you that these are my intentions. And when you don't approach her, then you regret. Or you end up in a story shared in an amazing podcast by three dads. But all I'm saying is I love the excuses given. I'm sorry I don't drink. I'm sorry I don't eat. I was waiting for the phone part to be like, sorry, I don't have a phone. I wanted to see what this dude would do. But that was pretty cool. I don't think I've ever been in that situation.
No, I've been to Walmart plenty of times.
Oh,
in the yarn aisle, but not in that situation. All right, let's see.
Did your wife ever, before she became your wife, did she ever say no to you when you made your move?
No, but her dad did.
Okay.
Would you like me to elaborate?
You should. Please tell us more.
This is somewhat embarrassing, but when I was in 8th grade, I was like, she's the one. She's the one. So I emailed him or messaged him through MSN.
Oh,
you remember
wow.
what MSN
Yes.
is? Okay. So I messaged him through MSN and told him my intentions. This was in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So he immediately read it and was like, no, he needs to go. So he made us break up instantly. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. I guess this is done. But obviously it wasn't. But
yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 8th grade.
So she's not the one who cut you off.
He was. He was like
rejected.
He was like, let me see. Oh. No, he needs to go.
I know. We all have different stories. My wife said no to me so many times over Skype.
Skype?
Yes. In a different continent.
So
different time zone.
You couldn't even talk to face. You just had to take it just from Skype.
Oh, I should tell you my story, but I'll save that for another time. I'm looking at you. Sorry. Yeah, proceed.
All right, we'll go to this next story here. At approximately 10:05 a.m. on August 30th, 2023, officers in Norfolk, Nebraska were dispatched on a call for a vehicle with a cow inside
Oh my.
rolling through the town. While police assumed the bovine passenger would be a small calf that would actually fit inside the vehicle, they discovered it was anything but small. Officers located Lee Myers riding down US 257 with an enormous 2,200-pound half longhorn, half, well, actually, I don't really know how to pronounce this. Watsui? Watusi. It's an African.
Usi.
It's an African bull.
Anyway,
It's an African bull riding shotgun in a 1996 Ford Crown Victoria. The car's roof on the passenger side had to be removed so the animal could fit, and there was a yellow barrier on the side of the vehicle to keep the bull inside. The bull, whose name was Howdy Doody, is a regular attraction at parades and fairs throughout the state, and there were two, and the two were actually on their way to another small town parade when they were stopped in Norfolk. The Norfolk police captain stated that despite the citable issues with the situation, the officer wrote Myers some warnings and asked them to take Howdy Doody back home. I couldn't imagine, like, I've seen videos of people having like small calves or having like a baby monkey or something that they take with them, but never a 2,200-pound.
What vehicle is this again?
It was a 1996 Ford Crown Victoria.
That's a small vehicle
For a 2,200-pound bull.
Oh. I have many questions. How did they convince the bull to even get in there in the first place? That would be my question.
Well, if he's used to doing stuff in parades and fairs and things like that, he must be like an excellent listener or something.
He must be. Yeah.
I wonder if it's like he was in this car, but I wonder if the bull's head was sticking out of the car.
Probably was, because there is no way you're going to put that dude in there weighing so much with his horns all in there. Like, when I moved to Northern Maine, I got to understand that things are really different here. The warnings are different. When you're in the big city, they warn you, like the subway is this way. If you want to get to the train, this is what you see, the charts of the green line or the red line. Then you take a taxi, you see the yellow cabs, and that's what you see, signs of this and that. Bus stop. Here you see moose crossing, deer crossing, all the stories that you hear. People who tell you, oh, you don't want to stand there. Why? Because you're on the Canadian border now. You just have to be careful with all these things. So when I hear that story, maybe in, what was the name of the place? Norfolk?
Yes, Norfolk.
Maybe people there just like that's an everyday thing. Every day they see a cow in a car and they're like, oh, there goes old Jonesy again.
So I have a picture of this bovine that I will post.
Yep.
With this.
Yep.
I don't know if I can show you on here or not. I'll show you afterwards.
Yes.
The bull. So the windshield's gone. Half the windshield's gone. Half the bull is outside on the windshield. So the bull's horns are pointing to the traffic.
Well, there.
And there's literally a yellow barricade on the side, outside of the car, pushing the bull in.
Makes you wonder if he's done this before.
Oh,
he must.
Well,
he
he had
must
to have.
take him to places that way.
He had to have. It had to have been that. It is humongous. It takes up half the car. Anyway, I'll figure out how to get this up. I was thinking sometime I should put like a screen up, and then I could show pictures
of the story
of the stories. Yeah.
But back to what you said, would it not be easier to use a trailer? I'm just wondering, like,
Well,
but
my opinion is if this guy had a 1996 Ford Crown Victoria, he probably couldn't afford in 2023. He probably could not afford a trailer. So
you have a good point.
yeah, but somehow he was able to afford a African bull though,
Yeah,
because it's not just like a regular bull. Like this is like a legitimate.
yeah, they brought my dude all the way from Africa.
Yeah,
Oh, stuff is still happening.
yeah. All right, let's see. Let's go to
Oh.
another one here. So a few months ago, I was on this big virtual meeting for work, like big, all departments, all eyes on everybody. It was one of those we're unveiling the Q3 data calls, which already meant stress and way too many acronyms to be being thrown around. Now my boss, who I'm 80% sure is powered purely by espresso and passive aggression, asked me to briefly walk the team through the Excel report. Here's the thing, I actually don't know how to use Excel. I know how to bold stuff. I know how to change the font. If a cell starts with an equal sign, I panic and then close the file. So I did what the underqualified adult with internet access would do. I Googled it. Yes, before my meeting, I literally Googled how to pretend you know Excel. And I found an article, a whole article. It had bullet points, buzzwords, and even a fake formula I could throw in if somebody asked me something technical. I was definitely ready. The meeting starts, everyone's on mute, nodding politely and in their Brady Bunch boxes. I share my screen, I open the Excel file. I'm narrating confidently like a tech-savvy TED Talker. Then it happened. I had left the tab open, that one tab, the tab that has the big thing,
Yep.
big words that says how to pretend you understand Excel. Not minimized, not even hidden, just right there, open, right at the top of the browser, next to YouTube, Google, just pure betrayal.
Expose the cheat code.
And, and because I was sharing my entire screen, everyone saw it, all 36 people, including my boss, including the guy from IT who definitely screenshotted it. And there was a pause, a very long pause, like the kind of silence where you wonder if your Wi-Fi died or if your soul just left your body. And then somebody said, well, at least she's being honest.
Yeah.
I tried to play it off. I said something like, I gotta love a good backup resource, right? But I was sweating so hard I short-circuited my mouse. I finished the presentation in a state of pure shame and denial, and afterward I immediately closed my laptop, went outside, and considered changing my name. The best part, my boss hasn't even mentioned it one time, which honestly is worse, which is worse, it's just hanging there like a silent HR file titled Megan, mildly illiterate in Excel, surprisingly transparent. So yeah, always double check your tabs or just learn Excel either way.
I think that person was creative, right?
Yeah.
That's what you can think. As the boss, if I don't know, if I see someone do that, I'm like, you know what? They saw a problem and they went around it. I see nothing wrong with that. Now imagine, as a preacher, I get up there to preach, and I'm opening my screen, and it shows how to use AI to preach. I'm like, oh, excuse me. Let me close that quickly. You didn't see it. Close your eyes to pray. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Or right before service, you're using Chat GPT, how to keep the audience occupied during my sermon.
We are sadly heading to that point with AI and all these different things. But for her, I think that was very, very creative. I don't know. What do you think, Richard?
I think so. If you don't have any idea what you're doing, it's better to have some plan when you're having to present the presentation.
I think that, at least pretending, is one thing, but I would feel horrible, like if I left something up, like if I was pretending to do something and be like, oh my word, I just left this up. But I'm just the type of person though, like I can't go into somewhere. I have to be at least 15 minutes early or I feel like I'm late. I have to be prepared on everything. So this would not be me.
Well,
I would have just said, I can't do it. I'm just not doing it.
one of the things that I think about with Zoom is when 2020 happened, most of us got to find out real quick how Zoom can be very amazing and how it can also be one of the worst things ever. I mean, people were just wearing nothing, shorts, right?
Yeah.
And having a tie and everything and carrying out meetings. And then they forget they're wearing shorts and they get up, go get a drink. And people are like, oh, wow, yes, so there is that. All those different things that were exposed. And I just thought Zoom exposed us. Zoom showed what we're really like, because on the outside, when you meet someone on the street, they look all well kept. Everything is perfect. But on Zoom, you get to see the real them. Cats were walking into the mics and beautiful, beautiful.
I saw one video and it was of a guy and the kid ran in. I don't remember it 100%, but it was just funny because he's in this really important meeting and the kid keeps running behind him. And then he gets up and he is in his underwear. And then they're just like sitting there looking at him like, okay, it's time for you to go.
I mean, honesty. I love it.
I think that a lot of those, like during 2020 and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it was hard because people didn't really, when you were trying to figure out what to do for work, you didn't really know what to expect. Like if you were going to be working from home, if you're going to be doing that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's still some people that do Zoom calls that basically just wear like gym shorts underneath and they're wearing a suit and tie.
Yeah.
And then afterwards they get up and they're like, oh, and they take it all off. It's just like,
If
okay.
it works for you, make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are out and doing things and they just have a background they travel with.
Yeah.
So they seem like they're sitting in the office. Whatever works. I love it. I love it.
So, Pastor Gill, do you have any comical stories you might be able to share with us today?
Oh my goodness, do I? I have many, but thinking of this one. So when I moved here, I want you to understand the background to this story is in Africa, we have no snow unless it's the top of mountains. We don't have snow. We don't even know what snow is like. The only snow we know is from movies, Hallmark movies and things like that. So I traveled, came to this beautiful state of Maine. And during the winter, we were living in this small town and we have some friends who invited me to go do something I'd never heard of. Fishing. Yes, I knew, but it was ice fishing. I did not know what that meant. So I thought maybe we're going to a local grocery store to the frozen section and pick out a fish from the ice box. That wasn't it. We drove so many miles up north, then we turned and did all these things, got to this place. It was like the woods with an area where you could drive through. Then it got to a clearing and we drove for a while on this open space, got out and there is a truck, there is all this snow thing, so much equipment and everyone is moving back and forth and the ground has these little holes that people put with these little flags. So I thought ice fishing would be, you using rods or, so I said, oh, okay. So when do we get this started? And the gentleman closest to me is like, get what started? I said, the fishing. He's like, oh yeah, you can see different people have dug holes. They're already fishing. I said, oh, that's weird. Where's the lake? And he looks at me and goes like, lake? I'm like, yeah. Where's the lake so we can fish? Why are they digging holes here? He's like, oh no, this is the lake. I'm like, what do you mean lake? He tells me that we are on the lake. And all I can see is white everywhere and trucks and people. I'm thinking, so I asked him, I think my voice was breaking, sounding more like a squirrel. Like, I'm like, you mean we're on the lake? He's like, yeah, this here? Yeah. So if you know anything about me or my origins is we are not known to be the best swimmers. So I got on my hands and knees and laid flat like a starfish. And I wasn't going to move. I was like, if we're on the lake, this is not how I'm planning to die, because I was waiting for us to go in. It didn't make sense. You should have seen me. And true story, when I got through all that, eventually I felt betrayed. I'd never gone ice fishing again, by the way, just so we're very clear. I never will. But when I got back home, I got sick. I don't know what it was. I think it was malaria. All I know is I got so sick when I got back home and I said, I will never, ever do that again. Or trust a fisherman from northern Maine who fishes in the snow. I could not. How do you drive? Help me understand this. How do you drive that big? See, in my mind, you can explain it. It doesn't make sense, right? Like, we drove this big truck and there were all these snow things, all this equipment on a lake. That's crazy, right? I'm not the only one, right? No, I am. Yeah. The thing is, we got there and I had to like slide my way off, and these guys were convincing me. I was like, I'm not going to see Jesus right now. Wait, I love him. But I had to, it was a scary time for me. And even right now, I cannot comprehend how anyone can convince me that, oh yeah, that the ice is this thick. You're fine driving on it. That's water. There's a reason that God let the fish stay in the water and us on land. We don't have to combine the two. I think we're good.
I think I've only been ice fishing a couple of times in my life. I don't find it enjoyable whatsoever to be out in the wintertime. I've done enough shoveling and plowing over the course of my life where I don't want to enjoy the ice and the snow anymore. So ice fishing doesn't appeal to me, but I could see why it would be frightening.
Thank you.
Because especially in some of the lakes, if it doesn't get cold enough and they're like, oh, yeah, there's 3 feet of ice here. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, okay. I don't really believe that. Because cars weigh, I don't know how much a car weighs, but
tons and tons.
I mean, yeah, but how can that be able to be on? I mean, you've seen videos of people driving on the ice and all of a sudden the car just goes right through. They're supposed to be 3 feet. It's supposed to be able to hold it, but it doesn't.
I'll tell you this. Lots of the stories I have, which are very embarrassing, have to do with ice. And that being one of the, you know, the forum in Presque Isle, there used to be that place, the forum.
Yes.
People would go and do some ice skating. My very first time going ice skating, my wife took me there. And we were with the family. And there were lots of people there, the ice skating place. And I was given these shoes that only have a blade. Think about that. Why? Who decided? Anyway, so I stood up and I was like 8 feet tall. I felt really good because we were like on a carpet. And it felt good. So we go on. And my first step is like going all by itself. And I'm thinking, we're not doing this. Well, somehow they convinced me to get on the ice and they locked that little small thing. And here we have all these people just floating along, like all I can think is of an African thing, like gazelles running in the safari savannas or something. And there I am holding onto the side of this thing. I never let go. And I went all the way on the side. It took me an hour to get around the whole thing and get back. And here's the thing. There were all these teenage couples on dates going around past me. Excuse me, sir. And they're just floating. I'm looking at them like, look at you having fun. You think this is, in my heart, there was no blessing I was passing out to anyone. All I can tell you is I couldn't wait. I was the only one sweating on that whole icy thing. And I was glad to be out of that thing. I don't think I was made for anything to do with ice or snow or water. I could keep going. My stories all have a lot to do with that, but I'm still learning.
So do you know how to swim?
I thought you asked a question like, do I know how to swim?
I did.
That's what you did. Oh, no, I don't. I swim like a rock. I'm a one-way.
So why
way.
do you do the ice out challenges?
Because the water is very shallow.
Oh, okay. Just say, because that pairs multiple things that you hate. It pairs icy cold temperatures.
Very true.
Water.
True.
Cold air.
True story.
Everything you don't like.
That's why I raise the money. Because I'm showing them this is a sacrifice. But I make sure I only stay on the shallow end. Sometimes you go on your knees to show like this is really deep. Go in and people are like, he's so brave. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I already know how far that water goes. And when I go in and I get out, I get warm, I raise money. It's a good thing to do. Yeah. And I've heard rumors that it's also healthy. Someone once told me that ice lightens your skin. They lied.
Do you need that?
I tried. They lied. Look at me. God took his time with me. That's all I'll say. For those who do not know, they have to adjust the lights in here for me. You're welcome. Anyway.
So I think what we should do is we should switch gears a little bit and do some dad jokes. What do you think?
I'm okay with that. You want to try some, Richard?
Sounds good.
Okay. So I think let's do 5 each this time.
Oh, so you pick out 5 papers.
Okay.
This should be fun. You got 5?
If you have more,
Got
that's
5.
perfectly fine.
I got
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things with dad jokes is a lot of them don't even make sense, or I don't get them, and I might sit there and be like, "What in the world? What does this even mean?" But that's the whole point of it. Is just it doesn't make sense, or it's just so simple. I don't catch the punchline of it. I had the girls and at the house, and I was talking to them, and I said, "This is the dad jokes." I said, "Do you want to hear some?" And they're like, "Yeah." So I said them, and I'm thinking, "Oh, this one I don't even understand." So I say it to them, and I said, "It's like one that you have to guess."
Yeah.
They guessed it like 2 seconds. I was like,
Yeah. Wow.
"How did you get that?" "Oh, it's super easy, Dad." I'm like, "No, it's not. Either that or I'm a complete idiot." But all right, Dad, let's have you go first.
Yes.
Okay. How do you get a squirrel to like you?
Squirrel to like you. Oh, something about it's something about nuts. I know
I
it
was
is.
gonna say, but
All right,
we'll skip. Yeah.
Act like a nut.
I knew.
You weren't so far away from it.
Yeah, I was close.
Close.
You lose your mind.
So let's do one each.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll take the thinnest here. I don't trust those trees. They seem kind of shady.
These are just ridiculous.
I would go for that one right there.
A cop started crying while he was writing me a ticket. I asked him why, and he said, "It's a moving violation."
It was more.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one.
Okay. What has more letters than the alphabet?
What has more letters than the alphabet?
I don't know that one.
The post office.
That one is probably one of the worst ones I've heard so far.
Okay. I guess it's right though.
It is true.
They do have more letters than
It is right, but
Oh my word. Okay. Swords will never go obsolete. They're cutting edge technology.
I like that one.
oh my word,
Oh, that's a good one.
cutting edge technology.
I like it.
Oh, let me see. I wanted my kids to watch the orchestra, but I had to turn it off. Too much sax and violins.
Oh my word. Okay, just yeah.
Okay.
keep going. Uh-huh.
Okay. A skeleton walks into a bar and says, "Hey, bartender, I'll have 1 beer and a mop."
Oh, get it?
No.
Because the drink goes right through him.
I didn't get that until right now. That was a good one.
It goes right through him. Anyway, this is a good. I'm really enjoying this. Did you hear the rumor about butter?
Mm-mm.
Well, I'm not gonna spread it.
What the heck is wrong with these? Oh my, this is a big one. Concerned that his son was spending too much time on video games, a dad told him when Abe Lincoln was your age, he was studying books by the light of the fireplace.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah? The son retorts, well, when Abe Lincoln was your age, he was president of the U.S.
Oh, you're going outside the house.
Boom.
I'm kicking you out the house.
I was going to say, I'm going to my room.
When Abe Lincoln was your age, he was walking. Go.
It's like, yeah, I'd be getting a lot of trouble for saying that.
Okay. Where do fruits go on vacation?
Fruits on vacation.
Salad. I don't know.
I was going to think of something smart, but I can't.
Paris. Paris.
Because of pears. Pears.
Yeah, no,
Paris.
no. That one's kind of dry.
That one fell. That's what
That was good. It was still good, but yeah. Yeah, that one's like,
That one wasn't written by a dad.
no.
Dad jokes are pristine.
Yes.
Okay. What do you call someone with no body and no nose?
I have no idea.
No.
Nobody knows.
Oh, my word.
Why?
Oh, my word. All right.
Oh, okay.
When does a dad joke become a dad joke?
No.
When it becomes apparent.
So much truth in that.
Jeepers. Okay. What has 5 toes and isn't your foot?
Your foot.
Yes, correct. My foot.
Got it right.
You got it.
You got one right.
Sweet. I've never gotten one right before.
5 toes.
So stupid.
I wasn't answering. I was asking, did you say your foot?
I know.
Okay. What did one hat say to the other?
One hat say to the other. I can't think of anything.
Stay here. I'm going on ahead. Mic drop.
Oh, my word. All right.
Okay. I got some good ones though.
You did.
Where do boats go when they're sick?
I don't know.
To the dock.
I was going to say dock, and I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense.
No, it apparently did.
So this is mine were good. I enjoyed those.
I kind of think we should do a few more because they're actually pretty funny.
This is good.
Let's grab 2 more.
2 more.
Yeah.
Each.
Okay.
I'll distribute.
Thank you.
I'll make sure everyone gets good ones.
Make sure mine aren't too dry, okay?
I'll do my best.
Okay.
You got the best right there.
Okay, I hope so.
I hope so too. Okay.
Okay. A father tells his son that he was adopted. I want to meet my biological parents, the son demands. We are your biological parents, the father responds. Now pack up. The new ones will pick you up in 20 minutes.
You're adopted. You just don't know yet.
Jeepers.
I should not be laughing at that one. I should not.
It's pretty funny though.
Oh. Where do you learn to make a banana split?
I don't know.
Sunday school.
Oh my goodness, I'm dying. Okay.
Oh my word.
I asked my dog, what's 2 minus 2? He said nothing.
What the heck? Oh, my word. Okay. I just broke up with my mathematician girlfriend. She was obsessed with an X.
What the heck? So is Elon Musk.
Because they're always like, find X. Find X. Why? Get it? Why?
I get that one. Oh,
That was better than the joke.
oh dear.
What does a sprinter eat before a race? What does a sprinter eat before a race?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Nothing. They fast.
Oh my word! You got the best ones. Oh, this one. I don't even. Okay, what's the best thing about Switzerland?
Cheese.
What do you say?
Banks.
Okay, I don't know, but the flag is a big plus.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my word!
This were really good today.
These were really good.
This were good.
That was by far some of the best dad jokes I've heard so far. Those are really good.
Oh my
So we're
word.
gonna move on to the final segment, and this is the humor lib segment. So basically, I asked people, I give them a list of words, and
Yeah.
we all know how it works now.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you the words. I'm just going to read it, and then you can kind of figure out what the words might be.
Yes.
It all started when I tried to discreetly hide my wedgie in my overnight bag. I was at my in-laws' house, stuck between an obnoxious aunt and a meat-sweating uncle, when my bowels began lurking like an old lawnmower on fire. My step-uncle leaned in to talk politics, and that's when it hit me. "Not again," I yelled, gripping my armpits and speed waddling to the guest bathroom, which was barely bigger than a coffin and smelled like Danny DeVito's cologne. He had been battling and had been battling a losing war against mildew. I sat down with the force of a meteor and instantly regretted last night's sushi and that questionable shrimp cocktail. Just as I had reached for toilet paper, I realized something had been replaced. The toilet paper had been replaced with a taxidermy kit, still in its packaging. Trapped, sweaty, and on the verge of emotional collapse, I stared at the ceiling like I was praying to be transported to a volcano summit. At that moment, the bathroom door jiggled. My step-uncle asked, "You okay in there?" The only thing I could feel was dread and possibly a hemorrhoid forming. Oh, my word.
I think I got a few words there.
I think you can get a few good words in there.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you have any He's just laughing over there.
Okay. So I my mind forms pictures as I hear you read. And I can just imagine this situation. You know, one of the scariest things to ever do is when you visit someone and you have to use the bathroom. You know, and they tell you can know a good house designed by people who host. If they have a bathroom attached to their living room, don't visit them. People say just go in, ask, "Where's the bathroom?" "This thing right here, this is the bathroom. I'll be back." Just walk back and go home.
That's his house.
It's true.
You walk in, bathroom. You can use any of them but mine.
I know. But the worst thing is when you go, everyone is talking and laughing. Music is loud. Everyone is having a great time. The moment you go into the bathroom and close the door, everything goes silent. You're like, really?
Yeah, it's like, what's he doing in there?
Now they're curious.
He comes in and knock on the door. "You okay?"
I'm using the taxidermy, taxidermy equipment.
I know. Can you imagine? See, I've always been worried, because I've had a lot of bathroom issues. I've always worried going into somebody's bathroom at their house and the toilet paper could be completely gone. And I just destroyed the toilet. And it's like, How embarrassing is it? For one, the door is locked. Two, I have to yell out, "You have any extra toilet paper?" And then I have to proceed to get up off the toilet, go open the door, reach my hand out, grab the toilet paper from them, and then close the door. And then when you open the door, be like, "No, I wouldn't go in there."
Oh, yeah, that's when you get out and tell your
It's
wife,
like, you know what? We got to get going.
we're going.
Yeah, we got somewhere to be in about 10 minutes. We got to go.
Until our friendship has ended. We're done.
Yeah, just text them later. We're done.
Yep. Please don't talk.
I've had a few of those moments. I've had a few of those moments of the worst one I had recently, actually. We were on it was Bethany, I, and a couple of our friends where we ate in Presque Isle. So we're heading down. And of course, Mars Hill is not that far away. So I'm like, well, my stomach is like, and I'm like, oh, it's happening.
Yeah.
So I said, I think I can make it. It's almost identical to when I had that issue on the interstate. So I thought, I think I can make it. So we get to, I call it the best gas station in Aroostook County, the Freshies in Mars Hill.
Yes.
Nope. I couldn't make it. I ran right in there. I destroyed it. And there was a line waiting. I just quickly opened the door and smile and walk out, and I get out the car. Let's go. It was bad. It was horrible. Have you ever had those? Actually, you have one. You have not about that, but about mom, you and mom at Walmart.
Tell us everything.
It was in
Get closer.
Okay. It was in Bangor.
Okay, maybe not Walmart.
No. And I won't say what the store. Anyway, we were in line to check out. And I must have eaten something really bad because I had quite a bit of gas. So when I expelled the gas, I walked away from Robin and went to look at something else, and she was left in line.
The sin of the crime.
She was not very happy with me when we left the store.
Everyone is looking at her like, really?
Yeah, it's like, what the heck did you just do? And Dad's just over there. Come on, let's go.
These shirts are really nice.
I can imagine Robin going like, it wasn't me.
Yeah, it's like, trust me, it wasn't me. And Dad's just smiling over there. Pointing over like, let's
Practically left the murder weapon in her hand and just walked away.
Oh.
What was this has nothing to do with that, but what was the story about you and Mom? You were in Nashville. Didn't she fall? Or was it when you were in the car?
No. Oh, you mean when she was walking and just fell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Bangor.
Oh, Bangor. Okay.
Everything is happening in Bangor.
Oh, it's. So what was what'd she do?
Well, Robin had a friend with her, and we were walking from the store back to the car. So she was already in pain from something else that had happened to her. So she was walking along, and all of a sudden you hear this, and I turned around, and she's laying, there's nothing there. There's no bumps, just a pavement. And we were laughing so hard. Eventually, we did kind of help her up so she could get back in the car, but we were laughing so hard because there was just nothing there.
So
I felt really bad.
I had another time when my mother fell. This is years ago, and we were living in an apartment house at the time that we owned, and so Dad's gone, and Mom's out. Like, you walk out the side of the house and you go, and there's a big lawn area. Well, I don't know why, I don't know how, but there was an indent, maybe like this, like not even like it's barely anything. So she starts walking. So she, I don't know, twists her leg on that little hole. So all I know is I'm sitting there. I look out and I turn around and she's laying there. And I'm like, what happened? She's like, call your father. Call your father. I'm like, what did you do? Call him. I'm just like, what the heck? Anyway, so I still, to this day, I don't understand, like, She's just walking normal, and then all of a sudden there's this little divot, and then down.
It's called having a gravitational attraction.
Oh, she definitely has a powerful one. But the other story was I remember so mom and dad, this was a long time ago too, but this is where all her issues started. So they were at home and we were getting ready to go to a funeral.
Yeah.
And and our mom's downstairs and dad's downstairs. So I'm in the bathroom, obviously, where I belong. And I don't hear anything, and I hear dad go, "Hey, are you still in the bathroom?" Yeah. He goes, "Well, when you're done, if you could come downstairs," he goes, "I think your mother might have broken both of her ankles." I was like,
Ow.
I'm like, oh, okay. What? How did that happen? So I come downstairs. She's laying on the floor, just completely white. And she got up on like one of those exercise step-ups.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think she went to give you a kiss or something. Or be like, "Oh, I'm taller than you," or something, because she's pretty short. And she moved just right and broke both of her ankles at the same time. And so she's laying on the floor. One ankle is like sideways off to the side dangling, and the other one just has a massive like softball egg on the side of it.
She really broke her.
Oh, both of them.
Both of them.
Oh, yeah. So
Wow.
what I thought was, when I got down there,
Yeah.
what would be the best way to make sure that we got her secure? To hoist her up on a computer chair. So Dad and I...
That's not the best way.
No, it's not.
No.
So Dad and I got her hoisted up. She's white as a ghost, and she's just like, what? And she's just like, oh. I'm like, stop, just get up in the chair. So I got her up in the chair, and she just, her one ankle's just dangling like this, and she's short, so she's sitting on the chair, and the legs dangling, and she's just like, oh, I don't think this is the. And I'm like, yes, we have to get you up. I mean, you can't be only on the floor. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of where it all started, but I don't really know how I got on this bunny trail. It must be my ADD. But anyway.
She was trying to be romantic, Richard.
I know.
Love you. Oh!
And you guys are like, this is the best way to lift you up.
I did. It was my idea. I'm like, go get that computer chair. Let's get her up. It probably wasn't the best move. But.
No, it wasn't.
The ambulance definitely turned out to be the better option.
Yeah. Yeah, the ambulance came
don't
around the back
say.
side of the house, and they were just looking at. Did we end up getting her? What did we end up doing? Did we just leave her in the chair?
I think we did till the ambulance got there, because we couldn't let her back down.
Yeah, for some reason I thought we put her on a pool table, but I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
Wait,
get her on the
what?
ta- No, we did not try to get her on the pool table. No, we left her she was in the chair.
Wow.
I don't-
story keeps growing.
I don't
but-
remember.
Okay.
All I remember is her when she maybe it was when the ambulance got there, because she laid flat, and I just remember her ankle was off to the side of the cart, and I was just like, well,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a bad break.
Yeah.
Have you ever broken a bone?
When I was young, I fell. I broke this right here. But in Africa, it's different when you break something. We were swinging off these monkey bars and things like that.
Oh.
And we had this huge playground. You would think that's where the accident happened. No, we were playing on that. And then some friends of ours were like, oh, there was an old man. He had a piece of land next to the school. He had nice mango trees. And a friend of ours was like, "Oh, I found some nice mangoes, and we should go get some more." The old man didn't want anyone messing around with his. So we had some people climb up the tree. It was pretty high, and some people were the lookouts. So someone saw one of the lookouts, saw the old man come. And I was up there like trying to grab some mangoes. And the old man is coming, but was late. By the time he saw him, rather than warn us, he just booked it. And so we look and we see the old man come and people are jumping out of the tree. So I jumped out, fell, got up, and booked it home, only to find out I'd messed up my arm. And then I don't know what to tell my mom. So I had to make a story up that I fell off my bed.
Off your bed?
I know, this is the end of the day, end of school day, and I'm telling her I fell off my bed and my arm hurts. And So as they're taking me to the hospital, they're looking at my arm. My mom is like, we're wasting money. That could have been fixed. The Indian doctor gets there. He was a doctor at this big hospital. He's like, yeah, let us just tie something around his arm and he will be very fine. So they put like all these splints around and they tied. And for a long time, I had my arm right there. And by the grace of God, my bones were not like totally shattered. It wasn't like a total break.
Yeah.
So my arm had to stay where it was. And that's what saved my arm.
Wow.
Yeah. Welcome to growing up in the 80s. It was fun. Just fell off that tree and within a month or two, my arm was back. It's one of those stories.
Wow. That's insane.
I could never skip school. I never had a reason. I'm feeling sick. Go. Everyone will be fine. My nose is bleeding. So is your neighbor's. Go. We never, it had to be someone shot me through the back and then a friend stabbed my neck here and then 2 arrows got into my head right here. And they're like, well, maybe you can skip school for one day.
Yeah.
It had to take a lot. And I don't know about you guys. I don't know how strict you were with them, but.
No, they were pretty lenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had, I don't know what it was. I hated school anyway. So almost every day I'd be like, oh, stomach's murdered me. So I'd stay home. But
Now he tells you.
no, he knows. It would though. Like sometimes it would and sometimes it wouldn't. I just didn't like it. I remember mom tried to homeschool me for, I would think it was like for kindergarten or something. I don't remember. Wasn't that, it was kindergarten, right? And it worked out really good for like a week. And then after that, it was all Spider-Man, Sega, all that stuff for the remainder of the year.
She's like, I'm done with you.
I was just like, woo, what a great school year. I remember she was like, so like, she got all these books. She took all the time and did this. She goes, we're going to do such a good job. Boom, boom. Nope. It's like, I'll do school later, Mom. I gotta get these guys in a web here, Spider-Man. No, it was pretty sad. And it was so funny, growing up, going to school. My sister is a genius.
Mm.
So, she has her master's degree and whatever. And, I didn't even graduate. So, I graduated high school, but not college.
Mm.
So all through school, my sister is a couple grades ahead of me. So they would always say, you have so much potential. You got so much potential. And I'm just like, thanks. Appreciate that one. So they basically called me, you're not bright, but you got it. You're close.
You're right there.
Yeah. And the corny be like, you're so good. You got straight A's. You're doing so good. No, Alex, you got potential.
It all started.
If you try, you could do it. You remember that?
Yeah.
All through school. They would tell my parents, he's got so much potential. And I'd be like, okay, potential is potential, but like, what are you trying to say? Like,
to do what?
yeah, like potential to do well, potential to fail. Like what? Like what's the potential I have?
It all stems from that moment in kindergarten when he was homeschooled
It all
with Spider-Man.
It all stems from Spider-Man. If I wouldn't have played Sega when I was in kindergarten for the first year,
He would have more potential.
I would have more potential. I'm pretty sure that was.
Oh my word!
I'm pretty sure that was the end of the school year though.
Mm.
Like when I ended up I played Sega like for a long period of time. Mom couldn't get my attention. She was just like, "You're going back to school.
Yep.
Like this is not working out."
She was having very many parent-teacher conferences with herself.
Yeah.
Get it?
It's just
She's the parent and the tea. Okay,
I'm a little slow. Remember, I have potential.
you have potential.
Well, this has been a fantastic episode to this podcast.
Yep.
I thank you so much, Gil, for coming. Thanks, Dad, for coming, even though you didn't really say much at all. But that's fine. But I appreciate you guys coming, and we look forward to seeing what we're going to be able to get done next week. Thanks so much for spending part of your day with us. If something we shared reminded you of a funny or hilarious moment, we'd love to hear about it. Head over to our website, humorinthehousehold.com, to submit your funny story. And if this podcast brought you a laugh or made you feel a little less alone in the madness, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing with a friend. Thanks again for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time.